About a week or two ago, I made a video titled, "I'm broke, who wants to Skype?" And I got lots of negative feedback on that video. And actually another YouTuber, Black and White Guy in America, made a video responding to my video.
I'm a little disappointed with one YouTuber in particular who goes by the name GoldJacketLuke.
And actually the next day he made an apology video regarding the things he said. And whenever I get kind of criticism or feedback, I don't like to be the guy who just goes, haters are gonna hate, and like brush it under the rug, you know, like most YouTubers, to be honest. But I like to be transparent about it and to create a dialogue. So I actually reached out to that YouTuber and we decided to Skype. And so we recorded that Skype call, and that's what we'll play right after this. But I'd recommend you to pause this video right now and to check out the two videos by Black and White Guy America. I'll link to them in the description. They're both very short, and I'd recommend you to check them out just to get context on the Skype video. And after the Skype, make sure to check out Black and White Guy in America's channel. He has lots of really great videos, and he's a really awesome guy. I hope you enjoy.
Hey guys, how's it going? I am here with Seth Alexander from the YouTube channel Black and White Guy in America. What's up, Seth?
Hello, Mr. GoldJacketLuke.
And this video originated because about a week or two ago I made a video titled, "I'm broke, who wants to Skype?" And that video actually got lots of negative comments on it. And Seth actually made a video on his channel talking about my video. And his video, I think, captured lots of the comments that were kind of criticizing me. And you were like, all those comments got manifested out in your video, all that like energy. And I reached out to Seth just through the comments, and Seth actually made a follow-up video to his video too. And my perspective on how to handle people critiquing you is, I think most YouTubers kind of go like just kind of ignore negativity or like say haters gonna hate. But I think when people are critiquing you for whatever reason, there's usually a reason why. And I think the best way is, I think the mature way to do it is to respond to the people critiquing you and be like, hey, what's up? Let's talk. Let's figure out where this is coming from, and let's see how we can work this out in the best and most mature way possible. So I invited Seth to Skype, and so we could talk about it and also talk about some other things that we talk about. So here we are.
Yeah. So yeah, I pretty much made a video. It's still up, and it was almost like just all hatred towards Luke here. And we were talking moments ago, and I was letting him know that I firmly believe in the concepts in which I was talking about. However, the delivery and the intention behind my video was completely poor. And if you see the video, you'll see I'm an angry person in that video, which I don't get angry. I used to, but I'm just not an angry person. And so I had an interesting comment, because in the video, in my apology, I made it clear that I felt bad when I was editing the video, and some guy was like, so if you felt bad, then why did you upload it? And so my reasoning behind uploading it was because I was like, okay, it took me like 2 hours to make it, to film it, to record it. I'm like, let me just put it up. And then, you know, I hit the upload button, just cringing. I'm like, all right, let's see what happens. And I also wanted to see if I felt the same way. You know, I wanted to know if I was actually feeling this way, or if I was just doing it for the hell of trying to get attention and put someone down, and it ended up being the latter. You know, I was just trying to put Luke down and get attention from it. And if you see any of my videos, and if you just know who I am as a person, popularity, I don't care. I don't care for being seen by people. I want to just impact people's lives, and if people should happen to look at my videos and gain insight from them, then cool. But I've never been one to, you know, just do things to grab attention, and that was an attention-grabbing video, because if you look at that video and look at every other video that I've made, it's not, there's no congruency between character. So I immediately, the next day, I woke up and made a follow-up video, because I always trust my instinct and my gut feeling, and it just felt wrong. Like, it felt more wrong to not say sorry. And yeah, it looks stupid. One day Mr. Jekyll, and the other day Mr. Hyde, or however it goes. But yeah, it maybe looks stupid, but I can't neglect my feelings and how I felt after I made the video. The next day, it just was too unbearable. So an apology at minimum was due to you, Luke. So totally handle it the wrong way, on my end. And yeah.
So I'll put a link to both those videos in the description. I think my audience would really be interested in seeing them, because I think lots of my audience could probably relate to both of those videos.
Right.
But once you release your apology video, I really appreciate that. It meant a lot to me, and I could just feel in your energy that you were speaking from your heart, and that you had sincere intentions for me. You had good intentions for me.
Yeah.
And you're coming from a good place.
Mm-hmm.
And just I've seen lots of your other videos on your channel in the past, and after you made these videos, I checked out some more of your channels just to get more familiar with you. And I could just tell on your channel that you're speaking from your heart. You're making the videos because you're genuinely passionate about them.
Right.
You're not, I could tell you're a good guy. So that's one of the main reasons I wanted to reach out to you.
Right.
And have this conversation, because if it was someone else who was I could tell they're doing YouTube for the wrong reasons, I wouldn't want to Skype with them,
Yeah.
But I could tell.
Yeah.
So in a way, I'm really glad you made that first maybe more negative video, and then the positive video, because now it resulted in this right now of us talking, and all that stuff that was maybe pent up, now it's kind of expressed and out there and open.
Right.
And when things are out there in the opening, that's when we grow the most, and that's when we really have a mirror to see is there any darkness in ourselves? Was I doing some bad stuff in my original video? Were you doing some bad stuff in your video? And now we could actually talk this out, which is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is actually really rare to do. It's really rare when YouTubers have arguments. Usually they just ignore each other, but to actually talk and stuff, that's really rare, and cool that we're doing this.
Yeah, and I definitely, I like that I don't know if you said this earlier on, but you embraced the negativity. You embraced it. You didn't just absorb it and dish it back out, and you didn't necessarily absorb it and just ignore it, but you embraced it for your own reasons, to learn or to grow or to just figure out what's going on, or maybe there's something else above us driving us to talk it out or something. But I did commend you for embracing it. And originally I was like, okay, cool, he's playing it cool, and he's just faking being spiritual, and he wants to, but same thing how you can sense in my videos the sincerity. I also felt like, okay, he's not just doing this to make a point, he's doing this because there is something in him driving him to do it. So I do always commend people who are just able to embrace instead of just dishing things back out.
Yeah,
it goes a long way in your personal life and with relationships.
Thanks for saying that. Yeah, no, it takes the bigger man to apologize about something. So I really respected that. So much of the world, we have all these problems, and people never really genuinely apologize for things, and that's
yeah. And it was funny because I know we talked in my comments about people who were hating on my apology, and
yeah.
I get it. It's I get it, but I don't know why it's like that. Obviously, when someone makes a mistake, it's generally you want to make amends, but for some reason, people want it. It's like we want to put people down. That's the kind of society we live in, where we want to put people down. And I see people's arguments. They were like, "Well, you shouldn't apologize. You were firm with what you said and stick by it." And like I told you, I stand by what I said 100%. I mean, I whatever, but I don't ever stand by putting someone down. I'm just not who I am.
Yeah, it was almost like hater inception, negativity and then apology, and then negativity about the apology, and then people being negative about the person being negative about the apology. It was it'll just go on forever until someone mans up and starts the positive spiral again.
Yeah. And I felt awkward having both a negative and an apology up there at the same time. I was like, I wonder how people are perceiving this right now, because this is completely out of left field. It was weird to see myself in that light, and then here I am coming back to my normal self. So it was just weird to kind of have both videos up there, and having people playing on both fields. But you do have a lot of supporters, so who didn't have any hesitation to let me know their feelings towards it. So
And lots of people, most of the people, I think, agreed with your points in your first video.
Right. The points, yes.
The points.
I don't like how people felt good about my negative energy though. Like the points are one thing, but to feel empowered, like tell them, like I'm like oh that sucks. The world is hard enough already. We don't need to make it harder for other people and for each other. So just very interesting.
And I really respected that you kept both videos up, and you're like, all right, it's just all up in the air. People could judge me how I want, and
right.
I had a thought once, should I like maybe disable the comments on my I'm broke Skype videos? Like, no, I'll just let everyone share their thoughts. Like, more openness than just the best for everyone.
And I think a big reason why I'm not taking my video down is because you didn't take your video down. And I know it's awkward to put yourself out there on YouTube. You're more used to it than I am by this point. But, to put yourself on YouTube and be subject to negative criticism and to keep it up there, I think most people like me, like I almost buckled and just deleted everything. I was just going to cave in and say, hey, let me just forget this never, like pretend this never happened, but you kept it up. And, I don't want to say respect. I don't know if that's the right word, but I looked up to you in that sense because I'm like, wow, if you can do it, then I'm going to do it. Why do I need to hide? And this is a good exercise for me to learn from, so I don't make these same stupid mistakes in the future. So I think everything is just a learning experience from all of this. Yeah.
So sometimes I just think about like taking down every single video on my channel. I'm like, what am I talking?
Oh, really?
I'm just, not like seriously, but I'll just have the thought once. It's like, what have I been doing the last 2 years of my life? Like sharing all these very deep thoughts and talking about like porn and nofap, like stuff that you have, being very open. Sometimes I'm like, well, that's way too open. I want to be have more of a mystery. Like, why am I putting myself out there too much? And, just my anxiety gets to me. Like, what are people thinking about me? Mm-hmm. But then like the next step, like, nope, I'm really trying to do a good thing, and I'm trying to give out thoughts that help people, and this is good stuff. But right. Sometimes that insecurity comes.
Always, yeah.
So let's talk about my video and about your criticism towards the video. I don't know if you want to start by saying something.
Yeah. So your video, and what also changed me to want to make an apology is, I don't know if it was a YouTuber that commented. I think it was someone commented on your video or mine, saying something like, hey, he's in this position doing this because he has to. And I have a compassionate heart towards people in general, but then if there's someone in need. So I rewatched your video, and this time I watched it not from my original perspective, which was, oh, Luke's is out here trying to make a buck. I watched it from the Luke's here doing what he needs to do because he needs to get by. He needs to make the income. And I mean, is that not the same exact thing that I talk about in my videos? Is you do what you have to do. So in that respect, I was like, who am I to sit here and tell him he can't do this way because X, Y, Z? There was a way better way for me to do it. And like we were discussing earlier, I think just coming to you privately, if I were as concerned as I made myself appear in the video, if I was so concerned, then I should have taken the time to privately come to you and say, hey, this is what you need to do, or go about it that way. But the bug to want to capture popularity and put someone down kind of took over, and just didn't feel right, and that's why I produced such a crappy negative video. So anyways, back to the point is, I saw this time in your eyes, you were doing this because you had to do it. Like, this is what you needed to do, and more power to you. Keep going in that direction is my honest opinion. Were there better ways for you, in my opinion, to do it? Yes, of course. I mean, everyone has their opinions, but the fact doesn't change is that you did it because you did what you felt you need to do. And let's say that I was a mentor and you were a pupil? Yeah. Mentor, pupil, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
Would I come down hard on you and say, hey, you piece of shit? No, I would coach you. I would say, hey, this is what you need to do. And so, yeah, in my video, my negative video towards you, I said, oh, you went about it the wrong way. And then here I am doing the same exact thing. So I've made it clear that I, again, stand by the concepts that I was saying, just the basic concepts, but presentation and intentions behind it, horrible.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, what did you feel or think initially when you saw my video? Like, was it like, who's this guy? Or like, what the F? Like, was it anger? Was it...
I actually, part of me appreciated it, because I saw that if you're gonna take the time to make a video about me and something I've done, it shows that you care about me, you know. So part of me appreciated it. Part of me felt misunderstood. I was like, who is this guy to talk about my situation when he doesn't really know much about me? He doesn't know my whole background and where I'm at in life right now. So some of it I thought was almost kind of silly, how you were so strongly emotional about it. Part of me felt a little bit hurt because you had some aggression towards me. And so it was kind of just a mix of lots of different emotions.
Yeah. And then it became...
And a part of me also was thinking, like, what have you been through to make such a strong video about this? And I was thinking that you've probably worked like your ass off, like had jobs you hate, all the things that you kind of said about me were probably all the things you went through. So I was thinking also, from what perspective have you gone through to give that message?
Right. Is that a question now that I should answer? Or
okay, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and this is based off my own life experience. So essentially, I'm 27 now. And by the way, I'm telling you this now. I'm not saying this to support my video. I'm just saying this because this is what I was thinking at the time. But so
Gotcha.
I've always been the guy to just do things that he didn't want to do. Like, essentially, I've been working nonstop since the age 16, just employed wherever I could work. So I think I started, first job was Burger King, and then a couple years later I wound up at like the Disney store at the mall, and then Home Depot. And I've just, for some reason, my mom told me, you just got to do what you have to do. And so I've always kind of had the mentality. And so I've got another friend, she'll probably watch this video, and we're not on good terms for some reason, but she'll watch this video. And I remember one time she was going through some tough times, and I was like, well, you could get a job at McDonald's. And I was essentially speaking from the standpoint of my own personal experience, like, hey, I've had to do shit that I don't want to do.
Yeah.
Just go do it. And so she rebutted, and she's like, I did not come all the way over here to work at a fucking McDonald's. I'm not doing that shit, blah, blah, blah. And I've always had the mentality like, hey, if you have to do something to make ends meet, just do it. So specifics, it's just I put, and I'll get to another point in a second, but I put myself through a lot of shit that I just haven't necessarily wanted to do, but it's helped me ultimately get to the financial independence that I've been chasing for so long. So part of me is just trying to say, do it because this is it's going to help you in the long run. Yeah. Now I do see some people that commented on your video that kind of had a point. They were saying, who's this guy? If he's supposed to be all motivational, then why is he telling you to do things you don't want to do? And I think that's a double-edged sword, because yes, you as someone who's trying to take control of your life, you don't want to be fucking working at McDonald's. I get that. And then from my standpoint, again, it's like you have to do what you have to do to get by. So it's like, at which point, who becomes right, who becomes wrong? And I think that's per each person's life. So you working at McDonald's, no. I couldn't see you doing that. And I think everyone, like the law of who that person is, like the law of your being, puts you in certain circumstances. So I couldn't see you personally working at a McDonald's, but I could see you putting together like, hey, this is a website and I'm going to have people like sign up for Skype sessions, or I could see you doing just countless many other things. Maybe working at a fucking Home Depot. McDonald's wouldn't be ideal for you, but
Gotcha.
Yeah, I just I made the mistake of imposing my own experience into your life, like as if I knew who you were and knew what you were going through, and that's where the fatal mistake was. So I still think I had some good points, but just maybe not for you. Like it maybe should have come directly at you, if that makes sense.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think do what you love, and also sometimes you just gotta do shit you don't want to do just to get to a better place. I think it's kind of a yin yang thing. Like oftentimes both are at play. Even entrepreneurs who have designed their whole lives around doing what they love, they still have to do accounting, they still have to do lots of bullshit. You know, there's always going to be that yang to the yin. Right. I think the goal for I think everyone career-wise should shifting as much as into the enjoyment and doing what you love to do as much as you can, as much into the yang, and get that yin as small as you can.
Right.
So I agree with you that both matter, and in the motivational industry, or whatever you want to call it, that what we do, it's good. It's always good to have a balanced perspective and to come in from every single side.
Right. So now, this is my own, out of curiosity, and this is probably not even on topic, but what direction are you headed? Like, do you see yourself doing YouTube in the future? Do you see yourself speaking, perhaps like, Tyler from, is it RSD?
Yeah.
Do you have goals of that nature at all in the future?
Yeah, so my goals is to keep doing the YouTube thing, keep making 2 videos a week, and really try to make this into an online business. And I could see myself perhaps making YouTube videos till like the day I'm dead. Like, YouTube's still a relatively new thing. But at least for the next 10 years, I could see myself doing YouTube solidly for the next 10 years.
Right.
But yeah, my main goal would be to get into public speaking. That might take 5-7 years before I could like do it seriously. Maybe I could do a speaking thing here and there every once in a while, but I'm guessing that'll take take a while to get to where it's like a decent size in my career. Right. Yeah, I would say that's my long-term goal: just YouTube and speaking, and developing like an online, a career as an online message giver. Right.
And that's what I do value in your channel is, I've seen quite a few of your videos, and there are the YouTubers who obviously are doing it to make an income, like obviously continuously pushing things in their face. And then there are people like you who just do it for the sake of doing it. Like, you want to help people, you want to show people what you've learned, you want people to see, like, you want people being led into your life. I mean, you're doing it from a good place, and so I think that's what you have going for you, so that when you do present something to people, like, hey, let's chat, hook me up with some money, then it becomes more like, hey, Luke's actually done so much good, let me go ahead and support him in any way I can. So I think to the average person, just with the common consciousness, when they see, oh, it's another YouTuber trying to make money, it's there's a lot of that being pushed around, like, oh, it's just another YouTuber who wants to make money. But I don't think they see or know like what actually goes into it, and especially they don't see or know your heart or your intentions. And so it's always hard to say, hey, I'm trying to make money off of the internet, when you're actually doing something valuable for people's lives. So you're obviously on the path where you need to be going.
Yeah, and I think I don't really like rarely say this, but it's just I feel like lots of people still don't understand my background and how I used to make pranks and social experiments with the Whatever channel, and now that channel has almost 3 million subscribers. It's honestly between like merchandise, media deals, advertising, probably making about $15K a month, and I used to have like a 30% share of that company. So like if I could have still been with that channel and been doing that, but I actually chose to leave that channel to do what I'm doing right now, to make the GoldJacketLuke videos, because I honestly felt like at first doing those pranks was really fun, but I honestly felt like myself like being corrupted. I was like, I'm just doing this for money now, I'm just doing this for fame, and I really felt I was getting off of the path of my heart, So that was about 2 years ago. I decided to leave that channel, and now make these GoldJacketLuke videos that maybe just get 5,000 views compared to the pranks that would get like 1 million views. So when I get attacked from people, or like some people come to Luke, you're a sleazeball just trying to make money. That kind of hurts, because it's like I'm the guy who left. Like, I know tons of YouTube pranksters who make fake pranks and do all this stuff, get millions of views, get tons of money. And I'm being called the sleazeball when I actually left that to make videos that I'm genuinely passionate about, and I'm genuinely doing what I can to make the world to give a positive message out there. So that was like the main comments that kind of hurt me, when people kind of called me a sleazeball. But I do agree with lots of comments that there was a better way that I could have done it. I still really think what I did was not that like, I don't think it was like a bad thing.
Right.
But I feel like there's a much better way I could have done it. I was basically just lazy about it. Like, the idea kind of came to me, and I just turned on the video and shared my thoughts, and I didn't really think much about it, put it up.
Isn't that what the law of attraction says? Just act on, the thoughts that kind of come that are just like, hey, telling you, go do it. So you did it. And I think there's some other comments that I agreed with that people made that were like, it takes balls. I mean, whether you did it the right way or the wrong way, it takes balls to do what you did. And again, I can only see that being you did that through need. You did it through, this is what I have to do to get shit done. Like, so you did it. And so are there ways that it can be improved upon? Of course. But that is very respectful. And I do actually like hearing now your background, because, I mean, who would have thought that you made money off of doing pranks? I mean, everyone knows that YouTube makes money, but I didn't personally know your story. And that what you were saying goes kind of hand in hand with something that I've been thinking, because for some reason now pranks channels are like all over my YouTube feed, and it's almost as if the importance of self-improvement, the importance of trying to become the best version of yourself is almost going out the window, almost. At the same time, I feel like there's another movement where people are awakening and trying to take control of their lives, and so they've got this balance between, okay, you got pranks on this hand, you've got motivation on this hand. But anyways, I like the fact that you gave up the idea that I'm just doing this for money, because it's something that I've been going through as well too. Thinking about my channel personally, I don't want to just make money. It's a weird thing. I love what I do in my own real world, but I feel like YouTube, just in my own experience, they have enough shit being pushed in their face. People have enough shit every day. I mean, I'm looking out the window right now. I see an airplane with fucking what do you call those things? A banner with an advertisement. So for some reason, I just got in this state of mind where it's like, do I want to do everything just to make money? And especially when there are so many people out there who legitimately need help. And so I like that you left the whole prank channel, because you were doing it for the wrong reasons. And I think we need more people out there speaking on life improvement. I mean, it's huge, and especially with the whole no-fap thing. That's how, we talked about that in the past, but people are now starting to realize that all the shit that we're into may not actually be what's best for us. We may not need to be spending as much time watching these shitty prank videos or watching endless amounts of TV or on social media all day. I think people are starting to realize, like, hey, this isn't really good for us, and we're in that age where people need to, like, get in control of their lives. And so that's where people like you come in to help kind of show people in that direction. So, I think within less than 10 years, you'll be killing it and be able to help more people than you think possible. I mean, I think we always kind of put like, maybe 10 years, but I know you'll be out there well before 10 years. So, yeah.
Thanks for saying that.
Yeah. More people like you. That's what we need.
Thanks for saying that. But yeah, back to just kind of the energy I felt was like, hey, I'm just going to make this video. And another thing is I actually made a video about a year and a half ago saying, hey, I'm offering Skype services. Yep. But I never really put any details into it. I just said, hey, I'm offering Skype services. Mm-hmm. Email me if you're interested. And that video got a bunch of likes. And this video, I said, in a way, I could have just made a 20-second video. Hey, I just want to do a lot more Skypes. If you're interested, send me an email. But like, in a way, I was almost like too honest. Which is like, it's kind of funny. I said my primary motivation is I need to start making money, and here are the prices. Then people attack me on the prices, and people attack me on my motivation. But if I actually was like a businessman instead of just like talking from my heart, I could have like made a very structured video and like really sold it and made myself look good. But the way I was thinking is like I wasn't even trying to make myself look good. I was just kind of being real. And I guess that almost it's made me think that just blurting out whatever you're thinking, it's a good way to go. But sometimes there's a more artistic or more professional way of going about how to kind of portray yourself.
Yeah, I think now that we're talking about it, I think that's what it was. It was the title that was like, really, dude? And you made a good point. If you would have said, like you said a year and a half ago, you did something, I'm offering Skype services, 20-second video, I think that makes perfect sense why people would like it. But yeah, I think that's what was like a turn off to me anyways. I don't know about other people, but like, oh, I'm broke, let's do video. So I think that's, now that I think about it, that's what was like, oh man, like, why is this guy doing this? Like, who? Like, so yeah, I mean,
it kind of makes me seem like I don't even want to. I'm Skyping with you because I want to make money. I'm not Skyping because I generally want to work with you. Yeah.
Right. It takes the whole everything you said about not wanting to do things for money. It takes that and just kind of tosses out the window. I think. Almost. So yeah, I think that's what it was. And but the difference now. You know what would have happened if you would have done it another way. And
I was thinking one way I could have done it is I could be like, hey guys, I'll be honest, I'm a little bit low on money right now, but I've done lots of Skype coaching in the past, and I wanted to offer free, I wanted to offer Skype coaching where you could pay however much you think is fair.
Right.
If you wanted to, you could just take advantage of me, and it'd be a free session. If you want to, you could pay however much you think is fair.
Yeah.
I think that's, if I could go back in time, that's what I would do.
Yeah. I think
that's kind of an honorable and respectable way to do it, rather than making it sound like this business and money motivation thing and being like, I am struggling, but I'll give you guys the opportunity how much you want to pay me, instead of taking a more business mindset. So that if I could go back, I would that's what I would change, is pay however much you want.
Right.
And maybe in the future, once I'm more established and more confident in my Skype coaching, I could set more secure, solid prices. But since I am still kind of new to the game, still a young guy, I think that would have been like the more honorable, respectful way of how to do it.
Yeah. It would have maintained the transparency, and then at the same time maintained your intentions,
exactly,
which are good. Yeah.
I was like honest about like the bad things, which is kind of funny, but like So I think the energy where I was coming from, I was feeling kind of insecure about being broke, and feeling insecure about I've been like doing what I've been passionate about, and I haven't been getting that many rewards. And the energy in my video was coming from this insecure energy. Is like, guys, I need to make money, and I just didn't. Like kind of what you were saying, like the points I was making, they are true points. I am broke. I am offering Skype coaching. I think I could help lots of people, but like just the place where I was coming from just wasn't from a pure like place of goodness. It was coming from kind of that. I'm insecure. I need to make money.
Yeah.
So I completely agree with all of your points. And if I could go back in time, I'd change it. But yeah, it's a learning lesson.
Yeah. I still hate my video. Like I still, I'm just like I hate it. And I had some people text me like, "Why are you doing this?" And I'm like, "You tell me." I'm like, it was so stupid of me. And but again, I look at it all as a great big learning experience. And
I don't like my video either. I wish I could go back and redo it and I lost some subscribers because of it. I'm sure lots of my subscribers are like, I thought Luke was this good guy. He's trying to help people, and now he just wants money. Like I'm sure my reputation has been kind of tarnished. But I shared it as a comment on one of your videos, which was Carl Jung talks about how like everyone has kind of repressed stuff. It's kind of like consider people's like shadows, and the more it's repressed, the more like it manifests in kind of like darker ways in reality.
Right.
So one of the biggest keys to growth is just to express stuff. So you expressing that anger, which is like so not you, like like now that you've expressed that and sound open, it's like your kind of just psyche can now let go of that whatever triggered that in your mind, and you've like healed now, and now like we've talked about it, whatever insecurities I had about money and my mindsets and just the unprofessionalism that I demonstrated, and just my video didn't seem to be coming from the right place. I wish I could take it down and redo it. But that was like a little part of my psyche I wasn't like really looking at in a healthy way, and now it's out open, and both of those videos now led to the Skype conversation. So and now I feel like we're both kind of learned the lessons of we both fucked up in our own ways, but it wasn't really fucked ups like we said. It was like some, I guess, a necessary thing that needed to happen.
Yeah.
for both of us to grow and kind of overcome two, well, kind of dark sides that we both had, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And I think from this, I think a lot of people will be. I think more people need to know your background on that whole, money thing with the other. Knowing that you made money, with the prank channel, and then you gave all that up. I think if people knew more about that whole thing, because that instantly, I'm like, wow, I didn't know that, and that instantly lets me know more of who you are, so that if I now would go to the video and be like, hey, this guy actually sacrificed more than he probably wanted to sacrifice in order to just help people. I think that's more commendable, and I think if people knew that, especially that one guy that was commenting on my comment, like if he knew more about you, and if I knew more about you, I know I wouldn't have done something like that. And again, after talking with you, and then after saying, like, understanding that I don't know you, I don't know what you're going through, I was like, watching the video again, I'm like, man, obviously he's doing it for a reason. He's not just doing it for the hell of it. And I saw in your eyes, I saw in your face, like, you're doing it because this is something that needed to get done. And that's literally all I talk about. Like, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
So, I think good things came from it, learned a lot, and I know I'll never be doing that shit again to anybody. Yeah.
Yeah, and what you were saying about you used to work at Burger King, you used to work at, like, you used to do all these jobs that you hated, and it seems like you really worked your ass off.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me more of a perspective on where you're coming from, where when you see me almost doing like a lazy route, like not putting any effort into it, just kind of just randomly saying it. Now, I'm guessing that's where lots of my people commenting on my video, I'm guessing that's where they were coming from, that they just got off like a 12-hour workday, log on to YouTube and see me like put in like 30 minutes of effort into a video talking about how I'm broke. Like, who wants to do this because I want to make money? Like, it makes sense. Like, I did not deliver my message coming from a solid place. It's like pretty obvious looking back. Mm-hmm. Like I completely agree with your points.
Yeah, man. I think everyone, like even the commenters, we all had good points. Even you had good points. I mean, everything, the intention behind doing it, everything was a good point. And I think it's just one of those things where you take all these people from different parts of life and put them into one box, and then we're all like fighting each other on it. So I don't think anyone was right or wrong. I'm sure people had points, but I don't think anyone was right. I don't think you were wrong for what you were doing.
Yeah,
I don't think
exactly.
I was right. It just so happened that we all came together at once with all of our past experiences and like instantly rebutted one another. So
yeah, there's no right or wrong. It's just all of our different perspectives, and it was just a kind of explosive mix. Some stuff needed to come out between all of our perspectives. Well, one of the things I would also clarify is, well, yeah, my bank account was was at like $60. Basically, I'm not like in any dire situation. Like, if I need rent money, my parents would help me out, and I do have some ways that money is coming in. Mm-hmm. Like my personal account was like broke, but for example, I had a friend who 6 months ago, he was living in his car for 2 months. He was actually about days away from checking into a homeless shelter, and I would say like he has the right to have called himself broke, and I probably disrespected the word broke because I guess everything is kind of on a spectrum, and while in one sense, I didn't have any cash in my bank account. Like I have support systems, and I have money coming in from different ways. And I feel like just one thing I wanted to clarify is I feel like I disrespected the word broke, because so many people have it really, really bad, and that's not a word you should just throw around lightly like I did. I feel like that was one of the things I would say I did bad. Mm-hmm. That's disrespectful how I said that compared to so much of the world out there who is literally. I just saw a video on YouTube where people in Haiti are eating these like dirt pancakes, like just because they need to eat. Yeah. It's like, that's broke. Like I'm I'm not in any dire situation where I should really call myself broke.
That's a good point.
So that's one thing I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, it's good that you recognize that. Yeah, that dirt pancake thing.
Did you see that video?
Mm-hmm.
You did? Okay, yeah. Yeah, it's like sad.
It is, man. Well, regardless, I'm glad we were able to, kind of get together. And thank you for handling it the way you did, because I've learned. I mean, because not next time. I don't get in too many confrontations, but however, I now know how to do it, because I know how the way you came at me, I know how it made me feel. It made me feel good. It made me feel bad. Like, dude, I feel like crap because I just disrespected this guy who's like got this huge heart. And so I know moving forward, how to handle situations where people are irate or emotional or just trying to, be negative. I now know how to handle that. So I literally I'm clapping because that was so cool. And I've never, ever, ever seen anyone handle the situation the way you did. I've handled things in certain ways, where it's like, okay, someone's aggressive, I'm just gonna calm them down. But I've never seen anyone in my life handle it the way that you did, and not only calm down, but then flip it around and be like, hey, let's actually discuss this. Let's be, mature about it. So that, seriously, if I had a medal, I would just pin it on you right now. That's really cool, man. So I'm glad everything.
I only would have done it if you, because of your apology video, I could tell that you're speaking from your heart, I'm speaking from my heart. We both maybe slipped a little bit, but once we process things and we can tell the other person has good intentions for us, there's no reason to have any friction at all and get on the same page. Yeah.
So I think the word of the day is intention. It's everything. I guess.
I like that. Intention is everything. Yeah.
It can be picked up even through the waves of YouTube. I don't know.
I feel that the energy goes through YouTube.
Yeah.
One thing I would like to, there's just one other point that I wanted to, I had some points written down I just want to talk about. I think I talked about most of them. But one other one that I wanted to just say, and I don't think this is something that you critiqued me on. I think it was just something people commented on the YouTube video, was that people are commenting like, Luke, who do you think you are? You're not a licensed psychologist. You don't have a doctorate. You don't have you don't have a PhD nailed onto your wall. And I would say to them so I don't think you really talked about that, but lots of YouTubers commented that, and I would say to them that for me, I think lots of the value that I have is that people just can relate to me. Mm-hmm. Lots of the Skyping that I do isn't psychoanalyzing someone and going back into their history. So some of what I do is that, but it's more of a 20-year-old guy who has never kissed a girl, mm-hmm. and he just is dealing with tons of social anxiety. Right. And for a guy like that, I think for them to see a YouTuber who has expressed lots of his thoughts, who has gone through lots of social anxiety myself, and I've also from the prank videos they've seen that I've really done lots of social stunts. Mm-hmm. When they see me, that they feel like they can really relate to me. So rather than talking to a 60-year-old lady in this nice room with a PhD on the board, they'd rather talk to a 23-year-old guy. So just one thing another thing I would want to clarify is that I admit that I'm just a random guy. I don't know much. I'm not licensed. I'm not. That's something I should have clarified in my video. I'm just nobody, but I generally do have good intentions and want to help people. Mm-hmm. And I feel like also I make lots of philosophical videos, and some of the people I've Skyped have been people who want to talk about philosophical stuff with me.
Right.
So for me, I believe everyone can be a teacher. It's all about just where they're coming from, if they have good intentions.
Yeah.
And if someone is like, Luke, I don't want to Skype with you because you're not licensed. Right. And I'd say, all right. Some people might, so that has nothing to do with me and you. Mm-hmm. You could go see, there's tons of amazing things that psychologists and licensed counselors and therapists do. Go see them if this isn't for you. But for some people, they can really relate to me, whether it's about they want to Skype about NoFap, whether they want to Skype about some law of attraction, synchronicity, type of stuff like that. Lots of people feel alone talking about those sorts of issues.
Right.
Philosophical stuff I talk about, or just dating and social anxiety. Lots of people I feel find value in talking to me for those things. That's just one thing I wanted to clarify for the people.
Yeah, and the reason I didn't say anything about it is because I'm in the same exact boat. I dropped out of school for psychology because I'm I don't want to get into it. All I know is that you do not need a degree to impact someone's life for the better.
Yeah.
Period. You just do not. So I've gotten the credential thing like once or twice, and I'm like, no, I don't have credentials. I don't care that I don't have credentials. All that matters is how you can impact someone's life. So anyone who wants to come saying, oh, you don't have the credentials, okay, cool. Go talk to a fucking psychologist who can do literally less for you even than a YouTuber can do for you,
and charge a lot more.
A lot more. It's like it's ridiculous. I don't believe in that. And also, I mean, I don't want to go on a big tangent, but I don't believe in a lot of things, like certain medications for mental disorders and all that stuff. I mean, some I do, but for the most part, literally just talking to someone who just sounds like he or she knows what he's talking about, that can actually impact your life. That is enough for most people. And I love Anthony Robbins. I don't know. I'm sure you maybe know him at this point.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Does he have a fucking degree? No. He finished high school, and that's it. And, you know, and he was a janitor up until he was like 27, 28. Yeah. And then finally decided, I'm changing my life. And look, he's impacted millions, and he is partially the reason why I dropped out and didn't pursue my degree, because I'm like, you know what? Yeah, you don't need to get a piece of paper that says that you're valid to impact someone's life. So to all those people, I don't...
I think that's a big way the world is changing. Before you had to jump through all these hoops to get somewhere in life. And now the more creative, more entrepreneurial, more honest ways of dealing with life are emerging because of the internet and technology. And so I think another like value that guys like me and you could have is we're trying to take the entrepreneurial path. We're doing cool inventive stuff with our life. We're making YouTube videos. Right. We're like the first guys talking about no FAP online. You know, there's value in that. That path takes balls.
It does. Yeah.
Jumping through hoops, there's lots of value in that. That takes persistence. It takes being able to go through a grind. There's values from all perspectives. Yeah. Lots of people, I think, see the value in the more entrepreneurial route and the kind of creative thinking and kind of the honesty that we have to develop also being YouTubers.
Yeah.
We're always putting our true self out there. And I really admired your videos on quitting porn and no FAP, because I know it takes balls to talk about that stuff. So that's something I've really admired about your work is you made so many videos about quitting porn and no FAP and all your different perspectives, all your stories, and you're just being straight up honest and real. There's 10 people on YouTube who have talked about no FAP, you know, and like porn and actually been real about it, and you've made multiple videos. Yeah. So that's a huge thing I've really admired in you, is all the work that you've done in there. There's probably tens of thousands of guys who are feeling better about their masturbation habits and porn habits because of you. And and just looking at your channel and your videos, I was like, well, Seth deserves way more subscribers. I feel like another thing is lots of people are commenting because they don't feel appreciated for the work they've done. They're like, I'm doing all this hard work and I don't feel appreciated. And I feel like lots of people are kind of waiting to get to that next level. And one of the reasons I wanted to make a video with you too was like, I was like, I'd love to have you on my channel so some of my viewers could learn about you too, and I'm sure some of my viewers will find your stuff and really like it, because you definitely deserve more subscribers. You deserve more appreciation and more good stuff happening to you with all the work that you've done. I mean, that's just my opinion, my perspective.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. I'm trying to play it cool, like I don't. It is appreciated. I don't think I don't put myself on a pedestal to where I think I deserve.
Yeah.
But of course, that's coming from my own life. But I think people need to hear a lot of what I have to say, and I thank you for that. I mean, it wasn't expected. It wasn't even intended.
Yeah, that wasn't.
But I do respect that.
Like there's some YouTuber right now who's making like a fake prank video with actors. They're gonna get 1 million views. I've met like a decent amount of pranksters, and lots of just a handful of them. They're pranks, like who they prank instead of actually being a real person in public. It's actually like one of their friends, and they like stage the whole thing. And like hearing about that, like pretty pissed me off, And
I've been thinking about that. Yeah.
Like it's a very small handful of YouTubers, and like all the YouTubers who are kind of in the prank community know who are like the real guys and who are the fake guys, who are the people who are actually passionate about this and who are just trying to get money and fame. Like all the YouTubers in the prank community all kind of know who does who. but it's like from my perspective of leaving the prank community more to do like the personal development. And then seeing you've put in so much effort making videos talking about like porn and nofap, and then like to see some of your videos get this many views when I see like a fake prank video get like 2 million views. It's like it's the way it is, and what goes around always comes around. But it's just something that's important to be talked about and aware of. I feel like our audience would really appreciate knowing about just me and you. Is that we're putting in the hard work, and we're really trying to do our best to talk about what we know about.
Yeah.
And what goes around always comes around. The energy we put out always comes back. But it's just something I think that our audience would appreciate, just like my audience would appreciate it about you. And if you're watching this, definitely go check out Seth's channel. I'll put a link in the description too. Tons of awesome stuff on this channel.
And I'm pretty sure all 6,000 of my people are subscribed to you, so. If there's a point, but no, I think it's, regardless, everyone I think needs to see this side of you, because that'll 100% clear up everything, and they'll now know like what's up with you. And I mean I don't know if you've said this in other videos, like all this leaving the prank community. I don't know if you've said these things, but I think bringing it back up to the surface and telling people again so they know you, because now I have a whole different mindset on you. So
thanks for saying that. It's actually something I haven't really talked about that much. Just kind of something that I've known, I've kind of kept to myself, and some of my viewers know the full story. And it's kind of like what you were saying. I don't want to put that out for show. I want to, I want to be humble about it. But I guess like times like this, sometimes it just feels good to be like, this is what I did, and like to be proud of like doing what you knew was the right decision in your heart,
Exactly.
So humbleness is like a super attractive trait, but every once in a while it's good to be proud of the work you've done.
Right. Yeah. Well, let's see if anyone makes it to 53 minutes.
Comment below if you made it to 53 minutes.
If you made it below, if you made it to 53, then you're awesome. So, well, man, it's been real. Been good talking, and hopefully we can talk again in the future, even if it's just between you and I. And
exactly. Yeah, definitely. Let's definitely keep in touch. Maybe a meetup in person sometime in the future. Make a real life collaboration video. That'd be sick.
Yeah, man. Awesome. Well, thanks for listening, all you Gold Jacket Luke people. And that's what it is.
Sweet. Yeah, I really enjoyed this conversation. I think it was really therapeutic and healthy for me. So, thank you.
Awesome. Later, guys.
Later.